Hi, I'm kchoi. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been following me for a while, then you'll know that I got my master's in London at University College London. I went from September 2016 to September 2017. And something that I haven't really talked about on this channel is how I actually paid for my program, everything from the tuition to the living costs to everything else that it takes to live in London for a year. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this video. I actually have an old Google Drive spreadsheet that I had made when I was saving up money for my program. So I have all the information in terms of what I needed to budget for tuition, for room and board, for groceries, for transportation, everything like that. And then I also went back and calculated how much I was earning at the different internships and jobs I had leading up to grad school and figured out how much money I actually saved per paycheck to get me to that final amount that I needed to go to London. So the title of this video is how I saved $50,000 for grad school, which is pretty much accurate. It might be a little bit clickbaity, but not too much. Basically, I needed to save about $56,000 for my degree in London. When I went back and did the calculations of how much I was saving at each job, I was able to get to about $44,000. Now, there is an explanation for that balance of $12,000, so just keep watching the video and you can see how I ended up saving that money. After I graduated college, I was able to move back home with my parents and live rent-free so that I could save up money. That's not a possibility for everyone, but it was a possibility for me and a choice I made so that I could save even more. In addition to that financial support, which I am so grateful for, I was also brought up with really good spending and saving habits from the start. I got my first job when I was about 16 years old. I was tutoring at an after-school learning center a few times a week. So ever since then, from my first job to every summer job after that, to my internships, to my campus job while I was in college, and even to today, I was taught to save. With every paycheck I got, the first thing I did was put a portion into savings. I think the typical recommendation is to save about 30% of your paycheck every month. I was saving about 50 to 70% of my paycheck and just instantly or immediately putting that into savings once the paycheck hit my account. Anytime I felt like I had some extra cash in my account and I could either spend that on some shopping or dinner or something like that, or I could put it into savings, I put it into my savings. Even if it was just like $10, I just knew that every single dollar would add up. So as I said, I've been earning and saving money since I was about 16 years old, but it wasn't until I was about 24, 25 that I knew specifically what I was saving for, which in my case was grad school. I think that's all the setup that we need. So now let's talk about what exactly I needed to budget in order to go to London for grad school. I have a spreadsheet here that I'm looking at, so that's why I'm looking away, and I will be putting up all the numbers on the screen so you can follow along with the calculations. Now, all the numbers that I'm going to share are in US dollars, and what I did was I calculated them initially in pounds and then I multiplied it by whatever the conversion rate was. In this case, I multiplied it by a conversion rate of 1.4, so that's 1 GBP to $1.40 US dollars. Another thing that was in my favor was that the Brexit vote happened about a year before I left for grad school, so I was already in the midst of saving up money for grad school. After the Brexit vote, the exchange rate went down. I think it went down to like a 1.2 exchange rate or something like that. And so I had actually saved up extra money than I needed, because before that I was converting pounds to dollars with a stronger exchange rate, but the exchange rate dropped, which meant my money was worth more. That being said, I still continued to save with the stronger exchange rate because I could, and so it's always better to save more if you can. So again, these numbers are at a 1.4 exchange rate, and these are the things that I needed to save for. Tuition, $33,480. Accommodation, $14,388.87. Transportation, $1,680. Groceries, $2,912. Dining, $840. Cell phone service, $504. Books and printing, $728. Toiletries, household items, $672, cookware and dishware, $210, laundry, $168, and swim club, $86.80. I guess I knew before I left for London that I wanted to join the swimming club or the swim team, and I looked up the cost of the membership and added that to my budget. So all of that was a grand total of $55,669.67 for the year. Now this doesn't include travel, it doesn't include any other entertainment and things like that that I would have wanted to do and that I did do while I was in London. But I did get a part-time job in London, so I got some additional additional cash flow beyond this budget that I had made for myself. So that was about how much money I knew that I needed in order to live in London, go to school, pay for my tuition, all of that. Obviously, I didn't know that I needed to save that specific amount from the start. I had been working, as I said, from high school through college and all of that, and was just saving in general. So by the time I made those calculations, I already had some money saved up. So then I was saving the remainder of that in order to meet that $55,000, $56,000 budget. So now I'm going to go back and walk through the different jobs I had, what income I was receiving at the time, and how much I was saving per paycheck in order to get to this amount. So we're going to go back to 2013, the summer after I graduated college, and I had an internship. In that internship, I was earning like $10 an hour, working full-time 40 hours a week, so probably about $1,600 a month. After taxes of about 30%, which I don't know that I paid 30% taxes at that income level, but I'm just gonna do that to be conservative. That left me with $1,120 per month. I was paid twice a month, so I got $560 per paycheck, and at that time I was saving about $300 per paycheck, or 53% of my paycheck. I was in that internship for 7 months, so if I think about $300 I'm saving per paycheck twice a month, for 7 months, that was $4,200 that I saved during that internship. Now again, my savings didn't start at zero when I was working at this internship, because I had been saving money since I was a teenager, not only from my money that I earned from tutoring, but also from gifts from family and friends and things like that. So there was already some money in my savings there at the time. But with that internship, I saved about $4,200. Next was my first big girl job, my first full-time employed non-internship job, and that was as a public relations coordinator. My average income at that company for the time I was there, which was about a year and a half, was $33,500. Again, after taxes, that left me with $23,450, which meant per month I was earning $1,954.17. That meant per paycheck, since again, 2 paychecks per month, I was getting $977.08. At this time, when I started this job, I didn't know that I was going to be going to grad school, but sometime in the middle of the job, I did know that I was going, and so I began to save a little bit more aggressively. So I think on average, the percent that I was saving was 66% of my paycheck, so that was about $650, getting 2 paychecks per month for 18 months. So at that job, I saved about $23,400. So now if I add that $23,400 in savings to the $4,200 that I saved at my internship, we're at a running total of $27,600 in savings so far, plus any other savings I had before that. After 18 months at that job, I actually went back to the company that I had interned at previously, but this time as a full-time hire and not an intern. At that job, I had a salary of about $41,000. That meant that after taxes, my salary would have been $28,700, which meant $2,391.67 per month, and then $1,195.83 per paycheck. At this point, I was certain that I was going to grad school in London. I had already submitted my applications at that point, I believe, and I was aggressively saving because time was ticking down and I needed to make sure I had enough money. I was saving about 71% of my paycheck, so $850 per paycheck. I was actually at this company for only 10 months before I went to grad school, so in that time I was able to save $17,000. So now if we add that to the $27,600 that I saved from the previous 2 jobs, now we're at a total of $44,600 saved. Now we already know that I calculated a budget of $55,669.67. So that leaves a balance of $11,069.67. Now the explanation for this $11,000 difference is most of that is what I had already saved up before I started that first internship that I walked through. And I think that's pretty reasonable because at that point I would have been saving money for about 6 years, from when I was 16 to 22 years old, through tutoring after school in high school, tutoring during summers while I was in college, working in the dining hall, working at an office job during college, So through all of that, I was able to save most of that $11,000 balance. A lot of it also would have come from gifts over the years, from birthdays, Christmas, New Year's, etc. Because if we take that $11,000 amount and divide it by 6 years, that is about $1,800 per year that I would have had to save, or $153 per month that I would have had to save. And I think that is pretty reasonable. I'm sure when I was younger, I might not have saved $153 per month, but towards the end of my college years, I'm sure I was saving more than that. I still have the habit of saving money first, so automatically putting some money into my savings. I think that is the number one tip for being able to save a lot of money, is having a set amount that you save and you don't touch, and then living within the means of the remaining amount. So because I have a really good foundation in terms of saving, I think the next step for me is going to be figuring out and learning how to invest my money wisely and make sure that it's growing and not just sitting in my bank account. That's it for this video. I hope it was helpful for you to see the breakdown of my budget for grad school, as well as the breakdown of my income and how much I was saving per paycheck. I am planning to do a video about budgeting as an adult, so if you have any questions about budgeting, then please leave them in the comments so that I can answer them in that future video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!